Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning or good evening, depending on where you are. My name is Ron Oliver. I'm the CEO and founder of EliteDynamicLife.com. And we are in the health and fitness industry. We also do life coaching for people who want to transform their lives. Today, I have a very special guest. She's a friend of mine and a client, and she has an extraordinary testimonial that I encourage you to listen to because it will inspire you and show you what is truly possible if you learn the things you need to know and you are faithful day in and day out, week after week, month after month. You can radically change your life. Her story is amazing, so stay tuned, pay attention, and introduce us to people that you know who need results like this if it isn't you. If it is you that wants these results, just go to EliteDynamicLife.com, check out the testimonials under the results section, and we look forward to meeting you. All right, Tonya, tell the world what life was like before we met you.
Oh my goodness. So I was so sick before I met you guys. I had developed 4 heart conditions in the fall of 2021, and I was so exhausted. I would have to have multiple naps a day. I was working for the school board as an educational assistant, and I was working remotely from home. And I would literally, on breaks, have to go running to my bed, have a nap. I would not get up until just before the bell. And once school was done, I had to go have a nap. I had no energy. The doctors had me maxed out on high blood pressure medication. And they had me told me to be careful going up the stairs, not to do anything strenuous because they were worried that I would just collapse dead. From the stress of working for the school board, I had developed acid reflux and my stomach was a mess. Like I was on Teca twice a day, Teca twice a day, Bizapam 4 times a day, which is the maximum dose. I had fibromyalgia, so when the weather would change, my joints and hands would be so sore. I oftentimes would have to crawl up the stairs. And then when we got the chairlift put in for my parents, I would have to ride it up the stairs because I couldn't get up the stairs. When I have the inflammation, and I couldn't think clearly. Like it bothered me because as I got older, my memory and being able to recall things, it was frustrating to me that it wasn't clear and I couldn't remember things as clearly. And kids growing up, they were mean. I mean, they would tease you, they'd make you feel like an outcast, they didn't want to include you. My family at family functions, they would make fun of the food that you were eating, even though they were eating the same food. You'd walk across the room and they'd go, "Did you feel that? Did you feel the earthquake?" As you walked. And so my self-confidence was non-existent, basically.
Who is that person behind you? She doesn't say much.
This was me at my heaviest. So this is Tonya 1.0, as we call her. And this girl is the one that had to deal with all of this. And so family would pick on you. And so my confidence was non-existent and I was depressed. She would smile and everybody would say, "Oh, you're happy." But that was just a smile to cover up everything that was going on deep down inside. I wasn't happy, didn't love myself for sure. And loved to buy clothes and try and look good, even though, I mean, I was 240 at my heaviest. And
wow.
Yeah.
How much do you weigh today?
Well, this morning I got on the scale and I'm down to 139.3.
Oh my goodness. That's 100 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people only weigh 100 pounds.
Yeah.
You lost more weight than some people's kids weigh.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just it's amazing. Like I have gone through, I think I'm on my 3rd wardrobe. I started off this girl here. This dress here is actually a size 18 or 20. And so she was an XX large. I'm now down into a small and size 6 pants.
That's amazing, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing how much your body has changed. What's more amazing to me, because there's lots of people, I've seen lots of people lose 100 pounds. You know, that's been going on for decades and decades and decades. You can find all kinds of people on the internet even people that did it on their own. They just
Yeah.
decided they had enough. They were disgusted with being fat and tired and sick, and they just got radical, and they started, doing things to help them lose a bunch of weight. So that's been done before. What impresses me the most about your transformation is how radically your heart, your mind, your attitude, your personality, who you've become, it's absolutely amazing, truly amazing, because I remember meeting you when you looked like that one behind you there, right?
Yeah, that girl.
And you have changed tremendously. You were so introverted, so oppressed, so depressed.
Yeah.
All I did was feel so sorry for you, because I knew it wasn't your fault. I knew that you were the victim of marketing and a lot of very bad advice. And obviously your parents had never been taught how to feed you properly, or how to feed themselves for that matter. And as most Canadians and most Americans do not know how to live a healthy lifestyle. They just don't know. We have been targeted, North Americans have been targeted by massive corporations, and all they care about is selling products, water, beverages, foods, drugs, things that make enormous money, but
It's
don't
true.
provide any value, and certainly don't provide health to anybody.
No, this girl had a huge sugar addiction. Like
Yes,
M&M's,
you did.
eggnog, aloe.
Folks, you
Like,
have no idea. I have been in this business 32 years. Tonya was the number one sugar eater I'd ever met in my life. She was the champion of sugar. This girl drank sugar. She ate sugar. She sucked on sugar candies, and she probably sniffed
crisper
sugar.
joyful.
She might have sniffed it too. I'm not sure. This girl was probably 50% sugar.
Yeah,
And she didn't even drink water. She
No.
drank beverages and everything I've ever heard of, and other things I hadn't even heard of. She didn't drink any water, folks. No water.
No.
When I met her, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm concerned that she's going to survive the week. Honestly, folks, it was a bit unnerving when I began to hear her tell me what she was drinking and eating. I was just sitting here trying not to make a face, but absolutely shocked, because I literally had not met anyone in my 32-year career. Tens of thousands of people I've interviewed and spoken to about their health and what they drink and eat. She was the champion of bad eating.
Yeah.
And now she's a completely radical health woman. She is completely different. So anyways, tell us more, Tonya, because this is so amazing.
So very much. I was shy. So like even going to school, I would walk down the street. My head was always down. I was looking at the sidewalk and at the cracks. Wouldn't look at people. It took me a long time to warm up to people. Wouldn't go out and speak to people. If there was a lot of people, I would rather not go. Try to avoid big crowds. And now I'm going out, I'm meeting people. I'm going to the gym. I'm trying things that I never tried before. Like I've done bungee class where you're on a bungee cord and you like leap. I've done like a Superman pose where I leap into the air and been airborne in bungee. I've done drumming class, and I've done Zumba, like things that this girl behind me, she would never have tried. And meeting people and talking to people, and people that have never met this girl and they meet me can't imagine me being an introvert. And my friends that know this girl behind me are like, who are you? Because I'm like completely different. My personality, like they don't recognize me. Even like my eating habits are like, who are you? Like, so completely different.
Well, I remember when I met you, you couldn't, even walk up the stairs in your house.
No.
And after many months of teaching you how to properly hydrate your body at a cellular and molecular level and detoxify your systems of elimination, starting with your gut, and then teaching you how to eat. And after about 5 months of that, it was time for you to start exercising for the first time in your life.
Yep.
And when I met you, when I met you, you couldn't do a squat to save your life.
I couldn't.
In fact, it wasn't even safe to try to do one, because The doctors had told you not to even walk upstairs in your own house. It was
No, and then
bad.
you said, hold on to the door.
Yes.
To the door. And I
Yeah.
remember you saying that. And I held on to the door and I did the first one. And I'm like, oh, good Lord, I'm never gonna get rid of this door. I'm gonna be like anchored
Yeah.
here
She was
forever.
doing doorknob squats, people, so she could have something to balance herself. So she had the door open and she's straddling the door with her hands on each doorknob, right? And then she was just doing bodyweight squats. She did 50 squats, folks, her first workout ever after 5 months of detoxing her body.
Yeah.
Tell them how many squats you've done in one set
Well,
after 3 months of exercising, which was 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 months after we met you. Tell them
yeah.
what was the maximum number of squats you did in a consecutive set.
Well, Ron had some clients that had done a couple hundred. And so like when they were doing a couple hundred, I'm like, well, I wonder if I can work my way up to that. So I started with 50 and then I increased it to 100 and I just kept going. And then I'm like, once I got to a certain point, I remember sitting, I want to reach 1,000. I just want to reach 1,000. So then in September 2022, this is past September, I did one set of 1,111 squats in under 30 minutes.
That is epic.
Yeah.
Folks, you need to understand how epic that is. That is like Navy SEAL level, professional MMA fighter level achievement. That is not what civilians do. That is not what non-professional athletes do. To do that many squats in a row is amazing. Go ahead and try. Just try 100 squats, folks. Your legs will burn like crazy. To do 1,000, over 1,000 squats, 111, 1,111 squats is absolutely an amazing achievement in one set. That's like hiking up a massive steep hill nonstop for half an hour. That's an incredible achievement. I've never done more than 1,200 squats in my life in a row, and I'm a professional. So that is epic, folks. So just imagine, what is it like, Tonya, to walk around with legs that before you couldn't walk upstairs and you weighed 240 pounds?
Oh, I have a new lease on life. Like I have so much more energy. I'm happier. Like my dad, he's older. And so we ended up getting a Lifeline for him because he would sometimes have a fall here at home.
How old is your
And
father?
he's 82.
82. Okay.
82. So he would have a fall here and mom and I, like the two of us trying to get him up, we'd either get ourselves hurt and we could never do it. And it was just, it was like a workout to get
So
him
you
up.
had to call 911 sometimes, or what?
So sometimes we had to call 911 to come and help us get him up. And so we got Lifeline for that reason. Well, we got rid of Lifeline back in December because dad had a fall and he was okay. But mom's like, dad fell, we can't get him up. And I'm like, I remember I went and I straddled him, went down to the squat position. I bear hugged him and I lifted him up and I walked backwards and I got him up and he looked at me and he went, "You're a strong little bugger." I'm like, yeah, that's right. I
That's
am.
hilarious.
So yeah, we knew that now I have the strength and I totally can lift him up. And so we got rid of Lifeline. So yeah.
So what is it like to walk around being 100 pounds lighter and having all them toxins out of your gut and having a clear mind and being able to focus and just think differently? What is it like? Tell the world what it's like
Oh.
to release that many toxins, 100 pounds of toxins, undigested food, heavy metals, chemicals, and fat. What does
Well,
it feel like?
honestly, like I had so much inflammation and so much swelling in my hands and in my joints. This girl behind me had no idea that it could feel this good and get to this point that I am right now. She had no idea. Even when I met you and you said this would happen, my brain couldn't process that back then.
I
And I
know,
had
I
no
remember.
idea.
I was telling you what was going to happen. You were like a deer in the headlights.
Yeah, I had no idea. And so I know like I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia probably about 25 years ago. So I had it all my life. And I want to say to people out there that have fibromyalgia, 100% you can reverse it. 100% because I like the swelling in my fingers and stiffness in my joints. Now when the temperature changes outside, I don't notice it. I don't feel it. I'm not crippled like I was. And so people will say, well, you obviously didn't have it. No, I had it because I went for the diagnosis and you had to have 11 out of 17 of their pinpoints to be diagnosed clinically, I had 17 out of 17 when I was in my 20s.
Wow.
And
When you're in
so
your 20s, that's
when I was in my
young to be
20s, yeah,
suffering like that.
yeah. So, and I remember after getting the test done, like I was sore for months. It was like, oh, that hurts. Ah, that hurts. And yeah, so I dealt with it for years and was on medications for it. But I've been off medications now for almost a year and a half. No pharmaceuticals. I'm sleeping so much better. Like the inflammation's gone. I have more mobility in my joints. I can actually sit cross-legged on a chair. So like for fibromyalgia people, when your joints are so inflamed, you can't crisscross your legs and sit cross-legged on a chair. And I can do that now. And I can bend, have more mobility in my joints. It's so much better.
It
Never going
is.
back.
How many pills did they have you on? Do you have that bag handy?
I do. I
Oh
have
my Lord.
this nice
Look at
little,
that.
yeah.
And how fast would you consume all them drugs?
Some of them were daily, and some of them were on a, like as needed, but like way too many of them.
Like, how long would it take you to consume that whole bag?
Probably 6 months.
Wow. So you were
Yeah,
doing like 2 bags that big a year of drugs.
yeah, yeah.
Holy.
And then, like there's some that are not in there. Like I had a face cream that they gave me for my rosacea, and yeah, I had that. I didn't like that because it like thinned your skin out, and so
Yes.
I didn't like that at all. So I tried to avoid. I found another, like try to find a homeopathic way to deal with it instead. But I've never had the issue with rosacea since meeting you guys and getting healthy. So that problem's now gone.
That is amazing. I remember not long ago, you mentioned to me that the government made you go get all new photos for all your ID because you didn't look like yourself anymore. Tell us
No.
about that.
So when I go into the gym, we got myself to a point where I was healthy enough, and I went to the gym and got a gym membership in December. And I went to the gym and I filled out the application. She's like, "Oh, can I just see your pieces of ID?" And so I handed them to her, and she looked at them and she looked at me and she went, "Is this you?" And all of a sudden I realized, oh, I'm like, oh crap, I never really realized that my pictures are all her, not me. And so when I went into the Ministry of Transportation, they actually had to call head office. And I remember the lady was on the phone and she's standing there with me and she's looking at me and she really relayed the question. She says, she's asking me if you look anything like your pictures. And she's like, no, she doesn't. And so they ended up having to give me a new driver's license and a new health card. Well, then I have an appointment on Monday to go get a new passport because I had forgotten about the passport being completely different.
Right.
And so, yeah, this passport is like this chunky little blob right here, like face on the passport.
Not long ago, when you were at the gym, which is a whole new life for you because you never had a gym membership in your life.
No.
Remember, you walked by someone that you've known for a long time and he didn't recognize you. Can you tell us about that? Who was this guy?
So I went to the gym the one day and I was upstairs on the second floor and I'm sitting there and I realized, oh, my family doctor's right there. And I'm standing there and I walked by him like 2 times and he had no idea who I was. No idea. Walked right by me.
And how many
I've had him
years
for a
did
family
you have
doctor.
him as a doctor?
So he took over from our doctor who sold her practice. And so I probably have had him for at least 15, 20 years. He walked right
And
by
he
me and
didn't recognize you.
did not recognize me.
That's
No.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, I can understand why, because you look radically different than the person that's behind you.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible.
I've taken her to the gym and taken her to exercise class. And when I don't take her to the gym, they ask me where she is. And I'm like, oh, she's at home. She's being lazy. She's sleeping. And so I went out to one of the dealerships in town here and I brought her with me. And I walked in. It was the first time ever I walked into a dealership. And the guy looked at me and he went, you go to this such and such gym? And I went, I do. He goes, I'm like, you go there? And he goes, yeah, I've seen the two of you around. Like he recognized us.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Now, folks, there's a reason why she has this life-size cardboard cutout of herself from the past, because Tonya has become such a different person. Her goals and dreams have changed so radically. She actually left her old position as a teacher's assistant, and now she's been certified as a live blood analysis technician. So she has her microscope and her training, and now she can actually, do an analysis on people's blood and show them what toxins may be in their blood and what nutritional deficiencies they may have or what troubles they're having with digesting food. It's all about the blood. So that's the purpose of the cutout. So people can see what she used to be like. And that's really to give hope to those of you out there that are desperate to lose weight, desperate to get their health on track, overcome their addictions to the wrong drinks and the wrong foods so they can transform their lives and not remain a victim of inflammation, pain, and all of the symptoms that come along with toxicity. The other thing that's causing so much suffering out there, folks, is nutritional deficiencies. If you're eating a bunch of junk food, your body's not only going to become toxic, it's going to be malnourished because obviously those calories are empty. So then your body's not getting what it needs. So all that we did, my son and I, with Tonya, is we just taught her how to hydrate her body to cellular level, how to detoxify her body correctly, the right way, all the systems of elimination, get them working, and eliminate all her nutritional deficiencies. Just help her body achieve balance, which is technically called homeostasis. Anyone can achieve this. You just have to desire it enough. You have to be disgusted with your current situation so that you're willing to change what you're doing and then reach out and get the help. What's on your heart that you want to share with the world about what has happened to you? What's the advice you would give to anyone who's watching, Tonya?
Oh my goodness, this is like really, I feel truly amazing right now. And so my wish and my hope is for everybody to feel the way I feel right now. This girl behind me had no idea that you could get like this and feel this good. And I wish people could just experience just a little bit of how I'm feeling. Because if they experience this, I know they wouldn't want to give it up. Like they would want it 100%. And like for people to go through, like people think detox is, oh, you feel sick, you feel horrible the whole way through. I never felt sick or horrible the whole way through. So it was 100% the best investment I ever made was to invest in myself and my health. And yeah, like to keep getting younger, like to watch my glasses. I got rid of my bifocals. I had them for 7 years, wore glasses for 40 years. And eye doctors told me, you're never going to get rid of them, never going to get rid of them. My eyes healed themselves. No surgery, no nothing, no medications. My body actually healed my eyes. And yeah, just it's an amazing machine what our bodies can do. And so it's definitely
Absolutely.
worth 100% of the investment is to invest in yourself and your health.
Absolutely. Folks, as you know, my name is Ron Oliver. I'm the CEO and founder of Elite Dynamic Life, where my son and I and our team, we're helping people transform their lives. We are shrinking asses, helping people eliminate glasses and the symptoms of disease all naturally by teaching people the way that you can become healthy. It's very safe, it's very effective, and it will transform your life forever. You can make the rest of your years the best of your years on the earth if you're willing to change your lifestyle. So reach out to us today. Go to elitedynamiclife.com, click on results, check out the amazing client testimonials, and then fill out the free form so we can give you a free evaluation on your health and fitness. Also, if you want to get connected to a community where you can learn a ton and get the support you need around like-minded people, check out Warrior Nation. There's a link on the website. You can check it out. You can join. It's free for a week, so you can check out what we're doing. We're hosting Zooms every single day, live Zooms for the public, so they can come and find out how to change their lives, change their mindset, change their thoughts, change their drinking and eating habits, learn how to get fit and healthy the right way, and have a way better life. Thanks a lot, folks, for tuning in. Thank you so much, Tonya, for your time, sharing your epic testimonial with the world.
My
It's
pleasure.
awesome. Very proud of you, Tonya. You've done an awesome job. And if you want your live blood analysis done, we have 11 certified people working with us across the country of Canada. We even have a couple in the States. So reach out if you're interested in having your live blood analysis done so you can see with your own eyes what your blood cells look like real time. It's really awesome. I highly recommend it. The first time I had it done was 26 years ago. It was extremely eye-opening. So you all have a blessed day, a blessed night, a blessed morning. We'll look forward to meeting you in the future. Peace, everybody. Peace and love.